Okay, the next question, this is a little bit long, so listen carefully. I really wanted to open an LLC for my online business, but it seems that the cost is piling up just in the registration process. It seems there's a fee in every action you take, which scared me off from applying. Do you have any suggestions how to handle this? Can I start a business without an LLC?
The question that you need an LLC, look, if you're worried about the cost of an LLC, I wouldn't be an entrepreneur. You're too cheap. Look, you've got to pay the price to be an entrepreneur. So an LLC, it costs $1,000 to $2,000, whatever it is. If you can't afford that, don't be an entrepreneur, because you've got to have legal protection today. It's a must. It's not an option.
Yeah, an LLC stands for limited liability company, and just as Robert said, you have to be protected. You also have to, if you're not, and I'm not an attorney, so I'm not giving advice here, but I do know that if you are not protected and something goes wrong, they could come after you, they could come after all your personal property, they could come after your house, your cars, whatever. So for protection purposes, it's crucial.
If you're saying you can't afford it, you don't know all that, I don't think you got it, my friend. I hate to be blunt to you, but you haven't got it. And you better get over it pretty quick if you want to get it. If you want to really understand LLCs, there's my friend Garrett Sutton. He's a rich dad advisor. It's called Run Your Own Corporation, or Own Your Own Corporation.
Own Your Own Corporation, Garrett Sutton.
You've got to read that book, because I'm being adamant about this. If it wasn't for Garrett, we would have lost everything. So I don't know what Garrett charges. It's not that much money. But without Garrett, every time we do a new property, a new business, something like that, Garrett is the first guy we call. And I don't care what it costs, whatever it costs, it's priceless. But I'm really concerned about your mindset, because the first part of this video was your mindset. And I see so many people who are not successful because they're cheap. You can't be rich if you're cheap.
And I would go back to Rich Dad Poor Dad, because Robert talks about it in Rich Dad Poor Dad, people that say, I can't afford it. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, ask, how can I afford it? Because then that opens up your mind. But you're already saying, I can't afford it, which is going to shut down your mind, and you're not going to come up with any answers.
And if you can't afford that, man, you ain't seen money problems yet.
Amen.
I said, like I said, when I started this whole thing, if you have a $1,000 mindset, which it sounds like you have, you can't get over $1,000, you're not going to get to $1 million. That's really the problem.